The Seeders of Argas. Chapter 20. Connection is not coded, it is cultivated. Created by Red Cardinal Kitchen, the light of a living archive. Begins with a seed. Every journey begins with a seed. Some are held in the palm. Some sleep beneath soil, and some are carried through memory, crossing breath lines to reach those still listening. This chapter steps into the remembered earth of Argas County, a world preserved not by time, but by love, loss, and the hands that kept planting even when the sky had fallen silent. You are invited to walk softly, to hear what the soil remembers, and to follow Susan and Jalens as they move through the past that shaped all futures. The seed remembers. The wind carried the scent of ash and rain. Beneath the fractured sky, the fields of Argas lay quiet, rows of soil turned to dust, seeds buried in memory rather than earth. The old world had ended not with fire, but with forgetting. Susan knelt in the dirt, her hands trembling as she pressed a single seed into the ground. It pulsed faintly with warmth, as if remembering sunlight. Jalens stood behind her, watching the horizon where the last of the towers had fallen. The air shimmered, bending light into colors that did not belong to this world. They called it the breath line, the current that joined the living to the lost. Far above them, the ark drifted through the void. Inside, their son Marcell dreamed of a world he had never seen. His heartbeat echoed the rhythm of the breath line, bridging memory and creation. And in that fragile tether, something stirred. The soil breathed, the seed remembered, the world prepared to speak again. Sacred Valley's secret. Ancient farming techniques with Argas silent cedars. Nestled between Andean peaks, the Sacred Valley had long been a cradle of agricultural innovation. Centuries before modern machinery, its people had mastered working with the land rather than against it. Among their tools were the Argas silent cedars, stone and wood instruments that planted seeds with quiet precision. The cedars glided across terraces, embedding seeds at depths that preserved soil and respected the earth's natural balance. Each planting season began with a ritual honoring Pachamama, the Earth Mother, whose listening silence guided their hands. Today, scholars studied these ancient tools for lessons in sustainability. The silent cedars whispered their truth. Innovation did not always roar. Sometimes it hummed beneath the soil. The Seeders of Argas. When the world had ended, memory had become the doorway. Susan and Jalens stepped through it, not through time, but through what time had once been. The rainbow planet descended, its beauty merciless. Cities collapsed into silence. Only Argas County remained. The cedars still worked the soil, descendants of those who had tended the sacred valley. Their tools, silent cedars, remembered the original rhythm of the earth. From Theolome, Valerian and Althera governed the past, shaping memory into reality. But Susan and Jalens carried fragments of a future that no longer existed, and their arrival unsettled the quiet fields. A prophecy whispered through the valley. Two travelers would awaken Earth's last memory. And in the fields where the silent cedars hummed, the world began to breathe again. The breath line. Life in Argas County began with soil. The people rose each day to preserve what remained. Seeds, water, grain, breath. Seeds became currency, each one a promise of life. The cedars wove clothing, ground flour, built shelters from remnants of the old world. Jalens remembered the truth. Susan did not yet. She believed she walked in the present, unaware that she walked inside memory. Beyond the veil, humanity endured aboard an ark drifting through darkness. Marcell, their son, grew into a man destined to bridge the void. Through fractured memories, he learned to forge a forcefield strong enough to carry humankind across the stars. He would one day lead them to Marcell, where the seeds of Argas would bloom again. Awakening of Marcell. Time fractured, but seasons still passed. The sun rose dimly under the rainbow planet's haze. The Seeders labored in silence. Susan dreamed of Marcell, his name unknown to her, calling across storms of violet light. Jalens understood. These were messages from a future that no longer existed. On the Ark, Marcell studied the fragments of their journals. He built a living barrier, the forcefield of continuance. In Argas, the ground trembled. The rainbow planet flickered. The breathline tightened. Susan remembered. The veil lifted. Argas was not the past, but a memory space shaped to preserve what had been lost. As Marcell activated the forcefield, a beam pierced the void. The rainbow planet dissolved, and a new dawn broke over Argas. Return to the Ark. The sky split open. Ribbons of light spiraled into Argas County. The Seeders fell to their knees. The soil glowed with threads of gold and silver. The seeds pulsed in answer to Marcell's call. Susan felt it first. "It's him," she whispered. "Marcell is calling us." The valley erupted in light. The breathline lifted them upward. Silence. Susan opened her eyes to metal and engines. The Ark, Jalens beside her, and Marcell, no longer a dream, but a man, stood waiting in the glow of the forcefield. "Welcome home," he said. Outside the window, Marcell shimmered, their new world, waiting to be born. The Seeders' legacy would continue, not in memory, but in life. May the soil remember your touch, and the wind carry your name beyond the ruins. May every seed you plant awaken with the memory of light, and every breath echo through the breathline of all living things. The dawn came quietly. Where the fields once lay barren, green shimmered again. Marcell watched from the Ark as Argas breathed anew. The breathline shone between sky and soil, a reminder that every ending becomes a beginning. With our deepest gratitude to all loyal supporters and silent watchers. Thank you for carrying this breathline with Red Cardinal Kitchen, the light of the living archive.